There are many different ways in which people talk to desired audiences. Some are direct about their intentions and leave nothing to the imagination, whereas others can appeal to the conscious or subconscious frames of the mind. According to Professor of Law at the University of California, Berkeley, Ian Lopez says that dog whistle politics simply means speaking in code to target a specific audience. Dog whistle politics is nothing new, and Lopez dates the strategy in presidential rhetoric back to the 1960s. In the 2016 election, we can use dog whistle politics to describe many of the comments made by Republican nominee and now President-elect Donald Trump. In dog whistle politics, there is something called common sense racism and racial dog whistling lies. Lopez describes common sense racism as it expresses the intuitive, certainly that many things are just the way that they are, widely known, widely recognized, and not needing further explanation. Lopez uses the death penalty as an example. In his book, he states that blacks are about 12% of the population, but roughly 43% of those on death row. But the number of white people who support the death penalty has risen. These people who support the death penalty are okay with that because it discriminates against those who are of color, and they don't want to admit that. During the second presidential debate on October 9th, Donald Trump uses the term inner cities multiple times.
Our people. And I'll be a president that will turn our inner cities around and will give strength to people and will give economics to people and will bring jobs back. I would be a president for all of the people, African Americans, the inner cities. Devastating what's happening to our inner cities. She's been talking about it for years. As usual, she talks about it, nothing happens. She doesn't get it done. Same with the Latino Americans, the Hispanic Americans, the same exact thing. They talk, they don't get it done. You go into the inner cities and you see it's 45% poverty. African Americans now 45% poverty in the inner cities. The education is a disaster. Jobs are essentially non-existent. I mean, it's, I've been saying at big speeches where I have 20 and 30,000 people, what do you have to lose? It can't get any worse.
By using this term, Donald Trump implies that African Americans and Latino Americans live in urban neighborhoods where violence happens on a day-to-day basis, and conversely that their presence in these neighborhoods is the cause of the violence. He implies that people who live in the area are poor, ghetto, and live off government assistance and have little to no education. Trump goes on to say, "Look, it's a disaster the way that African Americans are living." Using the term inner city therefore appeals to the subconscious racial beliefs in the minds of his supporters. Here, Donald Trump is using racial dog whistling lies and explicitly stating that African Americans are contributing to the horrible living conditions of the inner cities. Trump supporters will believe what he says because they have the same morals and beliefs as he does, but may not recognize it because through the use of dog whistle politics, he has appealed to the racist frames of their minds. Donald Trump is making generalizations about the way inner city life is, which appeal to images of inner city life that listeners already have in mind. Although Donald Trump can be quoted saying, "And some I assume are good people," every other comment he has made about Latinos has been derogatory. He not only claims that they are bringing drugs into our country, but he has said they are bringing crime and they are bringing rapists. By stating that many Latinos have snuck across the border, have taken jobs in the economy away from citizens of the United States, and that they not only bringing drugs but also rapists, Trump is constructing and appealing to the fear of the other. According to the Boston Globe, 2 white brothers of Boston, Massachusetts attacked a homeless Hispanic man outside the Dorchester MBTA. The 2 brothers urinated on the man and broke his nose. They said they attacked the man because of Donald Trump. According to the Boston Globe, one of the brothers said that he was inspired in part by the GOP presidential candidate Donald Trump. They attacked this man due to one of Donald Trump's racial comments saying all illegals need to be deported. Donald Trump supported the 2 brothers. He is condoning violence by supporting the both of them. Trump states that this was an act of passion, that these men are passionate about Donald Trump. This is an example of racial dog whistle politics. Racism is an even bigger issue now because of Donald Trump's racial slurs and stereotyping of various groups in the United States. Donald Trump said he wants to make America great again. Before he can do that, there is a need to recognize that racial discrimination is still present in American society. How can we move on as a country when we are still divided by the color of our skin?